Hello guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video we had cover as mainly DAX functions. So this DAX is mainly will cover as today calculated fields with DAX. So DAX is mainly this DAX is called as data analysis expressions. So calculated fields with DAX is mainly uh, DAX stands for data analysis expressions. So this DAX is will use as mainly to add calculated columns and measures to our model. So mainly DAX is to create the calculated columns. So if any calculations we had to create, that is measures and measures to our model and introduce the filter context and iterators and so on. So mainly for this DAX we'll cover as this entire DAX one will cover as so columns and measures, row and filter context, DAX syntax, common functions, calculate, iterators, time intelligence, etc. So first we'll go with the first one as meet DAX. So in this meet DAX called as so DAX for DAX is mainly data analysis expressions. Data analysis expressions. So this DAX is commonly known is the formula language. So that drives the Power BI front end. So DAX will mainly will use as Power BI front end part. So and you can go beyond with the capabilities of traditional spreadsheet formulas with powerful and flexible functions built specifically to work with relational data models. So and additionally add the calculated columns for filtering and measures for aggregation to enhance the data models. So this DAX we can go with mainly two ways to use with this DAX. Two ways is mainly I will show here those two ways mainly. So first one by using with calculated columns, and second one we'll go with measures. So if you go back with the report, here we had to create with the measures. If you right click this the right side of table or data set, here the option called as the new measure. So this is the one way we'll go with to create the new measure. So this is the option one to create with the DAX. And the other part is we move to table view. So in table view, for example, I'll go with the calendar lookup. So in calendar lookup, I'll select as this one particular column. So if I select with this particular column, we'll create as the formula. Like if you go with this column tools or table tools. In table tools, you see here new measure and new column also will create. Quick measures we had to create. So this way, so this is the second way we can create with the this DAX. So two ways we have to use the DAX. And other one is M versus DAX. So what is this M and what is the DAX? So this M is mainly M and DAX are two distinct functional languages used within the Power BI desktop. So mainly M is used as like a Power Query editor. M is used as Power Query editor and is designed specifically for extracting, transforming, and loading the data, like ETL part. So M is used as Power Query editor and is designed specifically for extracting, transforming, and loading the data. Similarly, the DAX is used as in the Power BI front end. Power BI front end part and is designed for specifically analyzing relational data models. So that is the difference of M versus DAX. So M is used as Power Query editor, that is in the back end we had to use. DAX is we had to use as in the Power BI front end and is designed specifically for analyzing relational data models. So this is the regarding with M versus DAX. Next, we'll go with calculated columns. So in calculated columns, so we had to create on demand. We had to create with the calculated columns. So calculated columns allow you to add new or formula-based columns to tables in a model. Like the calculated columns refer with the entire tables or columns. Calculated columns generate values for each row. Calculated columns understand row context. But mainly here one tip is calculated columns are typically used for filtering and grouping the data rather than creating aggregate numerical values. So aggregate numerical values will give as in a single value, but filtering and grouping the data. Next, so examples for this calculated columns are already we seen this calculated columns. So we'll create as new column. So once we click on this new column, we will create. We'll see some examples right now. Next, DAX measures. So this DAX measures are mainly first we'll go with before explaining this DAX measures and so on. One moment. First, we'll create as some examples of DAX calculated columns. So right now, I will go with sales data. Okay. So sales data I have. So in sales data, I want to create as the new column. Like I'll select as order quantity and right click. So here we have the option called as new column. Okay. So this is the one option to go with calculated columns. And other thing, once you select with the column and table tools, here new column is available. And column tools also new column is available. So this is another option. And here in the right side, once you select with one particular column like order quantity, right click and create the new column. So now I will go with clicking the new column. Okay. So here the option available. You can expand this text and you can hide this one. Okay. So now I'll go with to create as like quantity type equal to if order quantity. So order quantity is mainly sales data dot order quantity. So sales data order quantity greater than 1, then multiple items, else single item and close. Okay. So this is the one just if condition I have written. So quantity type if sales data like order quantity is greater than 1, then multiple items, else single item. So once I hit the enter, or else here option called as the commit. So once we click on the commit, the column is to be creating. So that is quantity type. See here, quantity type, I have the option called as single item and multiple item. Yeah. Select all, multiple items and single item. So this way we'll create as the new column. And I will go with another column. That is one more thing. Create new column. Total quantity equal to sum of order quantity, sum of order quantity. Okay, and hit the enter. See, all the values are same thing, 84174. So this way we can create as this one. So for time being, this is not required to create with total quantity. I will go with this one to remove and delete the column. So the same thing will create as in the front end also. So in front end part called as, so we'll go with report view. In report view, just now I had done with the sum of order quantity. You see here, this values, what I'm doing, sum of order quantity. So this sum of order quantity direct, I'm pulling this one to from the sales data direct column. Okay. So this direct column is available. So this symbol is there. So sigma, sum symbol. Okay. So this is the called as the implicit measures. So here we have a concept called as implicit measures and explicit measures. Okay. So implicit measures and explicit measures, what is the difference? So the difference is, if I create with the new column on demand, I have to create the new column. For example, here I have go with so first I will explain the implicit measure. So in implicit measure, direct I am pulling the data from this sales data column. So here order quantity is available from the table only. I'm not creating any new column. This symbol is available. So once I click on this order quantity, I will so again I'll remove this part. So add the column. If I click on this sum of order quantity, so direct I'm getting with the sum of order quantity. So this is called as the implicit measure. Then what is the explicit measure? So on demand, we had to create the this what we say new column, like new measure we had to create. So I'll go back to table tools. So here I'll go with sales data. So in this sales data, so select with table tools and click on with the new measure. So previous I have created as new column. Now I'll go with new measure. So once we click on with the new measure, okay, so here it is asking us so new measure. So now I'll go with like order quantity equals to like sum of right here better order quantity equals to sum of order quantity. Okay, and close. So once I hit this button, so it will create as the one column that is called as the order quantity column will create. So we'll see here how it is creating new measure. See here the order quantity is creating. I will mark this one too. So this symbol is creating as a new measure. By default, from the data set is coming the data. This one is the symbol. Okay. So that is the implicit measure and explicit measure difference. Okay. So so common from your table, that is what we say implicit measure and explicit measure. The data is to be same, but the only difference is the icons are to be changing. Okay. Right. Next, we look into quick measures. So these quick measures are mainly quick measures called as automatically create formulas based on pre-built templates or natural language prompts. So here the like automatically create formulas called as mainly. So this quick measure calculations can be used to build the measure by using predefined templates. Okay, and the main tip here is mainly quick measures can be a great learning for the tool for beginners or for building more complex formulas, but use them with caution. Okay, so that is mastering the DAX score is a deep understanding of the underlying theory. Okay, so this one later we will see in the practical way. So just to recap with calculated columns versus measures. So first point is calculated columns to measures are mainly. So calculated columns are the row context, whereas this measures are mainly filter context. So what is the difference of row context and filter context are mainly? So row context is values are calculated based on information from each row of a table. So filter context is mainly values are calculated based on information from any filters in the report. So that is the major difference. So primarily used for calculated columns for filtering the data in reports and primarily used for aggregating the values in report visuals, that is measures. So that is the major difference. And coming to measure tables. So this measure tables is mainly, it's a common best practice to create a dedicated table to store your measures. So this will help you to stay organized, find measures quickly, and allow you to group the related measures into the folders. So So this one will create as the new tables, like measure tables called as. So how we'll create the measure tables are mainly we'll see now. So go to table view. So in this table view, I'll go with now go to calendar table. So in calendar table, I will click on with the table tools and see here the option called as the this one new table. So by using this new table, we'll create as the measure tables. Okay. So now we'll click on with the new table. So once I click on with this new table, now we'll create as the measure table. So this is empty. So like column is empty will show. So now here measure table of DAX equal to, here the syntax is open the curly brace and close the curly brace within this double quotes. Okay. Then hit the enter. So this way we'll create as the measure table. Once I hit this button, it will create as the measure table. So see this right side, the measure table is to be created. If I click on this one, I have the value only that created value only available. So if I click on this value, only this one, the empty this one. Now I'll go with like report, home, and enter the data. So here the option called as the enter data. So if I click on this enter data, see the enter data is to be asking us to load the data. Okay. Now here we'll give as the name. So the name is so like we'll give as measure table, and click on load. So once it is loaded, the measure table is to be loading to the model. So here, if we check here in this one, measure table will create here. Yeah, see here is loading. Measure table DAX is to be created. Here, see here. So measure table column 1, measure table DAX value. So one is from the front end and one is from the back end we created two. So now I'll go with report and transform data. Check this table whether it is available or not. So here I'll click on this help queries and check this table. So measure table is to be created here. So now I'll again go back to close and apply. So back to report. So in report, I'll delete with the measure table, this one. I have created as measure table column 1. So now I'll delete this measure table DAX. So delete from the model. Delete this one and yes. So from sales, the measure table is to be deleted. Now what I can do is, so I'll move this one to like what we say, this measure table, right? So this measure table, I'll do one thing now. From sales data, order quantity is available, right? So this order quantity where we have created, yeah, this one order quantity. So new measure we have created. So this one will move to or else we'll drag this one. So measure table this one, right? So now I will drag this one order quantity to in measure table. Click on this one and right click, add to. One minute. We'll check in the report view. So in report view, we'll select as calendar lookup and measure table and sales data. From sales data, we'll move this one to, first we'll remove with this delete from model. sales data, measure table is deleted completely. Okay. So sales data, order quantity, right? Okay. So next concept is mainly understanding filter context. So this understanding filter context called as mainly measures are evaluated based on filter context. So which means that they recalculate whenever the fields or filters around them change. Like mainly, so clicking the filter icon will show you the filters currently applied to a selected visual. For example, I'll go with report view. Here, if you select with this filter option here, so the filters and slices are available. So once we click on these filters, and we can apply with this filters range. So filters on this visual, date, year, etc. So filters on this page. Okay. So this is called as the filter context. Next, step-by-step measure calculation. So step-by-step measure calculation is mainly how exactly is this measure value is to be calculated, like step 1, step 2, step 3. So step 1 called as mainly filter context is detected and applied, and step 2 called as filters flow downstream to related tables. Step 3 is mainly measure the evaluates and against the filter table, etc. And let's look into some basic math and stats functions. So these stats functions called as basic stats functions are mainly, I'll go with so calendar lookup and create with the new table. So earlier created the measure table. The same thing we had to create measure table. Measure table DAX equals to open the curly brace, colons, and hit enter. So once I hit the enter, the measure table is to be created. Okay, so this measure table is done. Now for this measure table, I'll go in front end and create the same thing. So we'll enter the data. So how will you enter the data? From report, in home, enter the data. Okay, here I'll create as the measure table and hit the load. So once it is done, so measure table 2 is created. So what I can do is now I'll create this measure table DAX. I will remove, delete from the model. I want only measure table. Okay. So let's rename this part. Rename to measure table. Okay. By default, it is coming as rename measure table 2. Okay. And one moment. We'll move this one to up. Up. Uh, okay. Measure data. Just move option. Okay. So anyway, the move option is not getting here. Actually, the previous versions we will get the measure table option also. So right now in this measure table, I'll go with to create the new measures. So select this measure table and goes to table tools and click on with the new measure. So for this new measure, I'll create as the new measures. So new measure is here. I'll create as quantity returned equals to sum of return quantity. From returns table, return quantity I'm selecting here. So this is from the I think here two return quantities is there, right? We'll check this one. Sum of return quantity. Only one thing is there. Okay, and hit the enter. So this one add to report and check the whether it is working or not. So this is quantity returned. Now I will remove as this column 1. Delete from model. Okay, so quantity returned. Now it is only measure table. So now I'll go with this model view and check with the this model table. See here, measure table is to be creating and quantity return also getting. And again, go back to this report and we'll add this one from where is this one. Select this part. See here, I'm getting the. I'll expand this report 1 second. Yeah, quantity return from the returns table. So this is I'm getting 1828. Okay, so this is working. Similarly, we had to add one more thing. Go to table view, measure table, table tools, and click on new measure. So this time we'll calculate as the average retail price. Average retail price equals to average of product price. Product price, and hit the enter. Okay. So now average retail price is added, and again go back to report and add this one, average product price. Select this checkbox, which is adding to select. Yeah. So if you check this one, so this average retail price is to be not working in this case. Why? That is, this average retail price, product price is to be not, the model is not synced. So that is the reason average retail price is to be not getting the proper output. So that we have to work out. Okay. Next, we'll look into some counting functions. So these counting functions, how we can work out with these counting functions called as so. In sales data, here one thing we'll do for order quantity, both are looks same thing, and we'll do this rename. So this rename part. Okay, one thing I'll go table view, sales data, order quantity, right click and rename. So this rename is will give us so like quantity sold and hit the enter. Now we'll create as some new measures. So I'll go here, click on new measure. So new measure now I'll create as so total returns. So total returns equals to now I'll applying with count functions. So count of returns quantity and close, hit the enter. Okay, total returns created. So here we have the options called as for count function. No, count rows also available, and count A also available, count AX also available. Okay, some difference is there. This all. Okay, and next we'll create as table tools. Create the new measure. So in new measure we'll create as so like total order. Total orders equals to we'll go with total orders distinct count. Will go right now. So for distinct count, I'll go with order number and close and hit the enter. So this total orders created. Okay, total returns something is getting count A. We'll remove this count option A and hit the open brace and enter. Okay. So total orders and total returns we created. And again, I'll go with another measure, total customers. So total customers will go with distinct count of customer key. Total customers. Total customers equals to distinct count of customer key. Okay, and close. So once it is done, and we had to format this one also. So in format, we have the option called as so whole number, and he'll create as this one, comma, and decimals also we had to create apply. Okay. So working on it, this one, total customers, done. Right, saving. And again, we'll go with the return rate. So return rate. Return rate equals to, now already we created the some measures, right? So those measures also we had to use here. I'll go with those measures. This bracing, and we had to enter the measure name. So quantity returned divided by, I'll go with the quantity sold. Okay. So here I'm getting, already I have created the measure called as quantity returned, and quantity sold also created the measure. Okay. So for this two measures, I am go with creating the another new measure, that is return rate. So return rate equals to quantity returned, quantity sold. So once I hit this option, okay, and once it is done with this option, and again we'll create this one also. So like for example, return rate, right? Here we can edit these options. So from this measure tables, I'll go with this decimal spot. I'll go to, and I want percentage, this one. Okay, this way we'll create. And again, now we'll go back to report. Now I'll check with this one. So till now we had checked with quantity return and so on. So now I'll go with return rate. Select the return rate, see 2.17% and total. And again, I'll go with total orders. Okay, and total returns. Okay. So this way we'll create as the new measures and counting functions, basic math functions, and stat functions, etc. So this is for today's video, and we'll look into the other video, the continuation part, DAX. So just I'm showing this DAX. So from basic math functions, how we create as the new measure, how we create as the new column, how we'll create as the measure table. These things I had just shown. Okay, so that little bit slow in this video. For next video, we'll use the complete DAX. So we'll try. Okay, thank you for watching. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.